You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building this morning.
For sure.
From XXL Magazine.
Vanessa and Miranda.
What's up?
Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
It's about that time of year.
Yes,
this is
time
a big
when people want to talk to us.
Yeah, well, y'all make people happy and disappoint others.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's the freshman XXL.
You guys do that too.
Class
Yes, we do.
2016. You know what I'm saying?
So let's talk about how you pick the people on the
Let's
XXL
talk about
cover.
who's on the cover.
I was going to say how you pick them first, but all right, well, tell us who's on the cover.
Of course, we have Lil Yachty.
10-spot winner.
Oh, that was the 10-spot
That's
winner.
the 10-spot winner.
Fans voted Lil
Fans
Yachty
voted
in.
Little Yachty in. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Little
That's
Boat?
the 10-spot winner. Little Boat. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was the mixtape. Now, who else was in the running for that? Who was neck and neck?
Anybody was in
But
the
who was
running
neck
for
and
that.
neck with Lil Yachty?
You know, I don't really remember who was neck and neck. You know, the way the 10-spot works is that it's whoever we haven't picked already.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, there were some of the people in there that did well that we'd already picked and stuff. He was the one, you know, that we had not picked yet.
I voted for
that is left
Consequences.
over. You
That's
did?
what I voted for.
Did you?
Miranda
Miranda went hard for Consequences. So.
Oh, really? All
Nah,
right,
they were in
also,
there.
Designer made the list, and Charlamagne didn't think that it was time for him, but he
Yeah,
had a number
I mean,
one
you can't deny the song, how big the song is. I
Number
mean,
one record.
what it sets him up as, you know, as far as the eyes on him are, you know, we went down to the wire on that one because we weren't sure, you know, and once it hits number one and it's recognized by so many different people, the platform that he's set up on.
But what's next for
But y'all
him?
made the
Very,
same
very,
mistake
very
with Trinidad James.
Yeah, very, very true.
And not
but,
saying Designer probably couldn't have hits because he's set up for it, but
yeah.
it's looking real Trinidad James just right now.
We got to hear the rest of the music. You
Yeah.
know, the
Still got
tape's
number
not
one
out.
record.
You know, he's still
So
got a
what?
big record, but we got to hear the rest of the music. Brooklyn would love to see that happen, you know,
Yeah.
and him do it for New York. But, you know, he's young, he's inexperienced, but he's got quite a setup with, you know, not just Def Jam, but with Kanye, with Pusha going hard for him. We wanted to hate, but the support system he has over there seems like it's set up to really pop.
It
You
seems
know,
like it's a
so-
curse sometimes to have a huge number one song as your first single because people
I
are like,
would
oh,
think
one hit
so.
wonder right away.
Well, the question is, can you deliver?
Yeah,
you
can you
know,
come
what
back,
can you
right.
deliver? You know, everyone keeps asking us what's the difference between pricking freshmen now and then is that they used to come in with more of a body of work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't really put it on us that they have one song and start getting a fortune of money and are on tour.
But most
You
of
know,
these guys
yeah.
on the cover do have a body of work. They got
do,
mixtapes.
but let's rewind to, you know, I like to compare, let's see what 50 Cent had to do to get the Dr. Dre Eminem deal back in the
Got
day.
you.
Right.
know, the amount of mixtapes, the amount of content, the amount how big Wankster had to be, all the music that built up to it in order for him to get that $1 million deal with Dre
Yeah.
and M.
Right, yeah.
And then what you have to do now, it's less and less in order for you to start to pop and buzz and people to love you so much. And I think Yachty's a good example of that. You know, there's one tape, a few other projects, but the buzz on Yachty, the amount of votes he got, shows how quick it is. You know, it's not so much about, oh, you've got a ton of music. It's about, I connect on the music you have right now.
Okay, our guy Dave East made the cover also.
Yes, he did.
I
Dave
think-
East looks pretty good.
and
Was it
on
a lot
my
of pressure
timeline,
from last year?
Not a lot of pressure from last year at all. No, he really just started to do his thing. His movement was different. You know, the Nas movement, Mass Appeal, everything he had
He's on
going on
tour.
there. We watch a lot. Also, how does your social grow? Not just your followers, but your likes. How many people are interacting with
He's
you?
grown a lot, yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
and you've definitely seen him grow. And there's always that pressure of you have to do New York rappers, you have to do female rappers, you have to do so and so. We're always like, it's not a quota that we're filling. This year we happen to have 2 New York rappers, so go figure. You know.
All right, Denzel Curry.
Denzel Curry, that's one of the holdovers that got probably the biggest demand from last year. Felt a bit early, you know, indie rapper for the most part, but the kids love him. You know, girls love him, but the kids love him. We did some speaking at NYU. We went to a few other schools, and the students just cared about Denzel.
You know, it's so crazy. The motherships don't exist anymore. Like radio networks, like BET, MTV. They don't dictate the thing. They don't dictate the way things move now.
Not at all.
So does it make it harder?
Everything's harder.
Yeah.
It's definitely like the internet age for sure when it comes to picking the freshman class. Like all the other rules, like, you know, sometimes we have to throw those out the window or we have to bend them a little bit just because, you know, the internet is switching things and changing things up drastically.
Yeah. I mean, no, Bryson Tiller's already had a major label project, you know, so we have to try and hold on to something that keeps it consistent.
Now, Lil Dicky's on the cover?
Lil Dicky's on the cover. That was a lot of controversy too, but I mean,
a lot of people
you
don't seem
can't-
happy about that online right now this morning.
Yeah, you know, I mean, he raps his ass off. I don't know if y'all had seen. You know, he's freestyled his ass off. I believe he's got 4 or 5 commercials right now, big endorsement deals. Sounds like he's got some big management coming into play. He's focused. He came in practicing, ready to go. You know, more focused on the craft itself that day than some of the other guys do. You can argue is he going to use it as a stepping stone for a TV show, and then what is success? You know, like he's not a rap star anymore. He is. If you sit down with him, he's going to tell you everything you want to hear on behalf of someone who wants to be a rap star. And then we have to look him in the face and say, well, no, you're lying. You know, I think we have to give him credit for what he's saying and what he's doing with kind of the songs and the videos that he was making, and acknowledge him for that, you know, and not say, well, the name is corny, the this, the that. We have to look at it kind of for what it is, and acknowledge that some people can rap and it's not who you want it to be sometimes, you know?
Who else is on the cover?
Lil Uzi Vert.
Absolutely deserves
Red hot right now.
We couldn't deny Lil
I
Uzi
mean, a lot
Vert.
of hair on that cover, I know.
A lot of hair, a lot of hair, a lot of colorful hair.
A lot of colorful hair on that cover.
Who else,
Yeah,
E?
Little Uzi, Philly.
Okay, also we got Anderson .Paak.
That's a talented dude, yes. Anderson raps,
Kind of
sings,
late on that
plays
one,
the
seemed
drums.
like. He could have made it last year, maybe.
I don't think there was
I
much
think
of
it
a
would've been
buzz
early
last
last
year
year.
I mean, music-wise, he's a little bit older. Music-wise, he's been around. But as far as in the hip-hop community, that buzz broke out this year. You know, on the Dre backing, whatever's going on the Apple side, who knows, everything that's going on there, the buzz just broke out. It's just going to move very fast for him.
What made Little Uzi Vert an easy choice?
I don't know if anybody was an easy choice. I think Uzi's buzz and Uzi's energy, you know, a lot of people say they want this person, they want that person, but we are fortunate enough to interact with the artists and see what their attitudes are like. And that's a big part in what makes or breaks you as a star, which I think, you know, you might be a huge fan of someone, but you might not know on the low they're a jerk.
Right.
You know, and that they're not working hard, or they're not going to be driven like that. You know, everyone likes to grind and hustle and throw those words around, but who's really doing it?
Right.
So sometimes you could be a fan of someone and we see behind closed doors they're not set up to work hard, or their paperwork's not right, or this and that. So
Or they have a nasty attitude.
Or they have a nasty attitude. Sometimes we don't know they have a nasty attitude till the day of the freshman shoot. And you're like, if we would have known a little bit more about you, you know, before the shoot, we might not have picked you.
Who
because-
That's
does
real,
who
though.
does that happen with?
Because manners will take you where money won't. I always
Manners
say
will
that.
take you when, you know, working hard. And listen, you're brought into a room and we forget they're brought in with 9 other artists who they might not have met.
Right.
You know, so already there's a cockiness, confidence, you know, egos and stuff, and interaction, and maybe subliminals we didn't catch before that they said to each other. So you've got a dynamic. You're either going to walk in that room and you're going to make the most of it, you know, or those rooms, or you're going to walk in that room and be the star and rub everybody the wrong way, or find out something in between.
Right.
And we've had it all.
Who else is on that list, G?
I think I would have thought Kodak Black would be an easy pick for you guys.
Kodak Black's a good pick. It's hard to see if we was going to get him there, if he was going to get there. I think he got out of jail and flew directly to us.
And then went right back to
Yeah,
jail.
Yes.
you know, I mean,
He
couldn't have
deserves
been
to be on that
nicer.
list.
He was kind of the DJ for the day. He set himself up at the computer and he was playing, I think it was a bunch of Future, right? And just playing his music and stuff throughout the day. You know, easy to work with. Just we were glad that we were able to get him there.
I'm glad he got out of jail just in time to do the freshman cover.
Yeah, and I hope he can
He's
come.
glad too, I'm
we have the
sure.
freshman show is June 28th, and I hope he's there for that. You know, based on he's still locked up here. So free Kodak Black.
Who else we got, G?
G Herbo.
G Herbo's probably one that we had
should've been an
lingering
easy
from
one.
the year before. You know, that's one that we got a lot of votes or a lot of press the year before, but we felt he was going through kind of a management change the year before, shifting over to you know, some new people over. He's with Johnny Shipes and Cinematic, and he's got a few other support systems right now. So he seems like he's young and he's right in a good spot right now.
Yeah, everybody's online saying, finally, after 2 years, G Herbo's on.
Yeah, I mean, but you know, what did G Herbo do last year that would have showed that he should have been there? You know, I think that's a very young guy who got a buzz early on, but has been trying to find his way in a kind of label management situation that's right for him. And I think he spent a lot of last year settling into that.
Is it safe to say Chicago's running the rap scene right now?
I don't think it's safe to say anyone's running it, Miranda.
I think Chicago got it.
Chicago's
Because you got Chance, you got
They're
Vic
fire.
Mensa, you got Joey Perp, you got Herbo. You got a lot of people from freaking Chicago that's doing it right now.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
Chicago's
but
on
there's
fire.
people
too.
from LA
But there's
that's
people from
doing it right
Atlanta that's
now.
rocking.
Yeah, but Chicago seemed like they at the top of the
Kodak
food
is
chain.
buzzing for Florida right
Yeah.
now
Yeah,
with
Kodak from
Denzel.
Florida.
You got a little new Florida thing going on. I mean, whatever's going on in Canada's got a nice buzz, you know. up in Toronto and stuff. So
Atlanta
They
it's
got one
always.
rapper. Well, two in Canada.
yeah, but they got a lot of eyes on them. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter even how many rappers these days, as much as how much attention's going to that area. You know,
Who else is on the
Atlanta
list?
was harder than usual. You know, there was a lot more of bubbling artists than used to be. There's always like, you know,
One breakout.
a whole bunch of Atlanta artists to pick from. This was a little smaller than it's ever been before.
Pop was smaller.
Yeah,
All right, 21 Savage.
Atlanta.
Give me
Atlanta,
buzzing for a
to be honest.
minute. Yeah.
That's an unsigned artist that he's going to see a lot. I think, you know, with being one of the few ones that isn't signed yet, with the labels chasing him down, and I think he's moved to kind of make decisions to work off of after this freshman cover and see what he's going to do.
Does being signed matter? I don't think so.
Not for us, but for them, because if you're not signed and then you have freshmen, you know, the doors open, or to my knowledge, the negotiations or the conversations change if you're not signed versus you are signed once, you know, when you're on the cover.
Depends what your buzz is too, though.
Yeah,
'Cause I mean,
definitely.
I'm sure somebody like Chance is getting the Brinks trucks backed up to him right now.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Who else? She?
Oh, well, that's it.
But I do think a label helps you with radio and making that song
don't need
huge.
radio.
And I sometimes think that's what Chance might lack, that people are looking for is, what is that song?
No,
What is that song?
I
What
think
is that
for
song?
us though,
You know?
I think because we're older in the game, so we that's how we recognize stars. But Chance got Apple commercials. He's on
I do
Fallon.
nothing
he's
denying.
on Colbert.
Listen, he's a freshman, so I'm definitely going to say he's definitely doing well.
Yeah.
But I do think a big hit song helps you a lot in a
And
lot
I think
of ways.
artists
you know?
love to hear their songs on the radio, too.
Now,
No matter what they
I
I
say,
think
Yeah,
he
yes,
should
they
go
do.
on Saturday Night Live, and there should be a song we recognize with him a little bit more. When
No,
he
but
goes on.
the kids
Yeah.
already got it.
I
Kids
don't know
already
There's
Yeah.
no
got it.
artist that you could ask that
Yeah.
would say, I don't want to be on the radio.
Chance the Rapper will sell out a show right now, anywhere.
That's true. Or what
He's been on
size
SNL
venue are you
twice.
selling? Yeah, it's true. But I think I think we're curious as, you know, what size venue are you selling out? How long are you sustaining it? I think.
Okay,
I do think hits on radio matter.
Who sells out more right now, Chance the Rapper or Designer?
I do not. Well, probably
Chance the Rapper.
Chance the Rapper,
Easily.
but you
But
know,
Designer's
he's
on the
also
radio
been
100
around a
miles.
few other.
Yeah, yeah.
Different
a lot
type
more
of fan base, too.
catalog.
It's a different type of fan base.
It's a few different years and how long he's been around too.
I just want radio to catch
Now,
up.
what about
That's what I'm. I feel like
That's on you.
I feel like we're behind 8 ball. Yes, it is.
That's on you.
And who's some of the artists that just missed the list? Now, what
Ooh,
about
that
Zoe
hurts.
Dollars?
Zoe Dollars, we have a show improving this issue. Felt a bit issue, so Zoe Dollars is a show improving this issue. Young M.A. got a huge response that we were surprised by, and definitely like her a lot. And the 10th spot did well, you know, and came up and played some strong music for us. Who else was
Were there artists you didn't know before you guys were doing this cover that now are on your radar?
Always. There's always. I mean, there's new artists that we hear about every day, you know, and you've got to decide what you're going to take seriously, because it could be someone that has a big backing that, you know, and a big rapper behind them, and it might work or it might not, or you could literally come out of obscurity a la Chance the Rapper.
What
you
What
about
know?
about
Kid
Mick
Drum?
Jenkins? Oh, go ahead.
Mick Jenkins, we listened to the year before. This year, he didn't seem very interested in playing so much music. Heard some stuff, just didn't connect like
Joyner
that. Didn't
Lucas?
seem that interest. Joyner Lucas felt a little early. We listened to music for Joyner Lucas.
He got that fire Kill the Panda remake that he did that I like. All right,
I mean,
now
it's
What about
hard,
the
you
Kid
know?
Drum? The Kid Drum.
Drum was very
Yeah.
close. We like
'Cause
Drum
he-
has a song that's, if he ever drops it, I think it's Cash Machine or
Yeah.
Money Machine. That's fire.
Well, that new record he has right now that is crazy right now.
Drum to us
My
is a hit
daughter
or
loves
miss.
it.
You know, it's a hit or miss. It's either going to work or it's not. What's disappointing for us with Drum is he came in with some really fire music and then just didn't put it out. You know, so months and months go by and we're like, you have this good music. If you have this good music, why aren't you putting it out?
Right.
That concerns us with what moves are you making? Who's advising in the camp? Not to say that he has the wrong people, but you know, sometimes if you have fire and you're sitting there and it's 6 months later and we're like, why didn't you drop it?
Yeah.
We're a little confused of how it's moving. And we really, really, really were into Drum, but we just felt without that music coming out, it feels a little bit early because we don't know what it's gonna do.
It's
And every
interesting.
time we were like, drop the song, didn't drop the song, didn't drop the music. We just didn't happen.
It's interesting though because there is no right or wrong person to have on the cover. Like it's this guy on Twitter. He said there's like one real rapper on the cover, and it's Little Dicky.
This is not a credibility cover.
But he likes Dicky. But then it'll be 5 other people say I hated the fact Dicky was on.
But not like
Yeah.
the song Broccoli, right? You, of course, you heard the song Broccoli.
Mm-hmm.
Those kids go crazy for that song, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's weird to hear people's opinions on different
What'd you say?
artists'
You
songs.
said it's not a credibility cover. So
This is not, it's the same conversation every year. I don't mean to have an attitude, but it's not a credibility cover. We're not putting people up because you're the most amazing lyricists. You know, we acknowledge them, that we love those people, but the freshman covers, we're trying to predict stars,
Gotcha.
predict the future. Unfortunately, we're in a day and age where sometimes you don't have to be the strongest rapper to be a rap star.
True.
You know, and if people are mad at that, then stop feeding into it. You know, we are documenting the culture. We're not dictating and telling you what you have
So
to
it's
do
not
and
your
what you have to like.
opinion of
It's
who
our
you like.
opinion of who we think is going to blow
But
up.
not who you like, not your
It's not
opinion of who
my
you like,
playlist. This
but
is
your
not my-
opinion of who has the most potential
Yeah, exactly.
to be a star.
That's what it is. You know, I mean, you guys, if you want to put your list together of everybody that's lyrical, unfortunately, that doesn't always work. You know.
Now, Saya from Sisterhood of Hip Hop left a comment on my Instagram when I posted the cover. She said, "All men, again, overlooking positive, influential
Again?
female MCs."
I'm sorry,
so
we had
many
two
of
We had
us.
two
females
of them on
last
last year.
Exposure.
Yeah, we had two females last year.
Tink
so
and Desloaf.
I know we've
Desloaf.
also had other females before too. I believe.
Iggy's
you
been
know?
on.
Angel Hayes.
Angel
Yeah,
Hayes.
Angel
Iggy's,
Hayes.
you know, so I would like her to direct that towards the consumers and the people who listen to hip hop and tell them to listen to more females and get them out there.
Yeah, I can't
You
think.
know?
I can't think any females that really were popping this past year.
We supported Desloaf and Tink last year, and then you guys had to follow up and support them as well, you know, or else don't complain about it. It's the hard thing is, again, where's the complaints that there's no Latino rapper or not enough white rappers or not enough this? You
Or
can't
trans
fill
rappers.
every right or
I
you
don't
know
know, I'm
you
just
can't
saying
fill
that.
anybody's slot of what you think it's got to be. It's a reflection of what's going on. And to say that we don't support females, well, there were two last year.
What about Black Youngster?
Early
Came up.
Early.
came up.
He ain't try to pay his way on.
I people know at this point you can't pay your way on, so they got over that side of things.
I
Earlier
know
on,
Black
it was a
Youngster
little
would
bit
try
more.
though.
Now, what
Trying to
was
think. I don't think we got that. We got the pitch about Black Youngster, but not about Black Youngster. In
What
the
about
chat.
Cardi B?
Gotcha.
Cardi B came up in the conversation. We have Cardi B in the magazine in another interview. We just didn't think felt it was a bit early for freshmen, even with the, television opportunities and stuff.
Her
just
mixtape had a
music-wise.
great buzz. It charted on Billboard.
Yeah, it did.
It did.
Yeah.
But it's just not time yet. Like with Cardi B, she definitely turned a lot of heads, but we just need to see that follow up. I don't think that it's time for her to, be on the cover.
And then you can argue, you can say, what's the follow-up with Designer? What's the follow? It's what we believe based on music that we've heard, based on how we see the team move, based on, basically the setup of what they have going on next that makes us believe or not. And the best thing you could do is prove us wrong.
what was the energy like with everybody that had to come, with all the artists coming together?
This
when
was
they
a
had to
good
shoot?
year. Last year I would say the energy probably wasn't so good. Not that it's bad. It's just, when they're talking with each other, excited to be around each other versus just not messing with each other because of their egos. And you really don't know what that's going to be because it's not until they get there and they don't know who's walking into the room.
Right.
So this year was very good. I think the funny part was Dave East and Little Dicky went to
Yeah.
college together.
No way.
And they
Yeah.
graduated in the same class. So
Wow.
Dicky was so excited that they were in the same freshman class and the same college class.
Wow.
And so they spent a lot of time together during the day. And there were different things like that,
What about 2 Milli?
was not there.
Not there.
This is hilarious. Look at this. It's the real did this. He fixed it for all you old heads and put all LL Cool J on all the freshman
Definitely.
cover.
I mean, if we had LL Cool J's like that to pick from and it was a whole different day, they get on there, maybe.
Are you surprised that people still care as much as they do though? Because in a time where they say, "Oh, nobody cares about publications," when the XXL cover comes out, people care.
They don't not care about publications. Every rapper likes to see themselves on the cover
Right.
of a magazine.
Yeah.
So this whole, you guys might not want to read about it as much as people want to see themselves. I'm going to stroke our ego a little bit. I don't know if you all saw Kodak Black's mom go crazy because he was just in a show improve last year,
Wow.
last issue. So, print can still matter. It still matters because the amount of work that goes into the stories that are in there are different than online. The journalism goes into there. That's where the best stories a lot of times will come from. Not always, but a lot of times. And the other element is who doesn't like to see themselves in print? People figured out the internet is throwaway. Take it down, change it, whatever. Once something's printed, it's permanent. And that still counts to a lot of different artists and their teams and the fans.
Especially for a freshman, it's a huge accomplishment, all that work you've been putting in, trying to get acknowledged. For you feel like, well, this is a stepping stone. This means I'm on the right path.
Yeah, you hope
for a
you do
lot
the
of
best
people.
with it. I mean, you could hate all you want. I don't look at the social, I don't look at the replies because it's a negative world that we're in. So of course anybody's going to do is hate. The reality is I don't know what publication that gets 10 new artists together that puts them all on the cover at the same time of an international magazine and supports them like we do. If you want another Big Sean, Future, Kendrick, whatever cover, you'll get those. But this gives an opportunity to a whole bunch of people who normally don't have it maybe exposes you to music you weren't familiar with, and maybe makes other rappers step up to the challenge of stepping their game up.
Now, was OT Genesis ever considered for the 16 Freshmen?
Everybody was considered, sweetie.
Because OT Genesis just had a huge impact with 2 big records.
We didn't see it connect with the fans the same way. The fans didn't seem to go crazy for him. They liked the music, and you can't deny the success of either song. The Saturday Night Live skits off of Coco and stuff. But as a person, there's nothing wrong with him. We just didn't see the fans go crazy or connect the same way that we thought. Sometimes you can have those big songs, and we saw that with K-Camp last year. Are people connecting with them on the star level, when they walk down the street the same way?
Y'all trending right now, by the way.
Cool.
XXL Freshman and Lil Dicky. People, these are the funny questions. Somebody said, why was Dom Kennedy never an XL Freshman?
Because we didn't pick him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that simple, right? Why wasn't he? We didn't pick him. I mean, you got to acknowledge freshman comes out once a year. So stuff can happen in between. A$AP Ferg blew up and put out a project in between 2 freshman classes, and we never got an opportunity to do much with him. He's not bitter. He's our buddy.
Do people ever really hold grudges against XXL?
Hell yes.
And I'm not working with y'all. Y'all didn't put me on the freshman cover.
Like, there's not another year coming up. Like, there's not other aspects of things. Like, there's people who we don't, haven't been on a freshman. It's all about your attitude, we went through this with a weird experience with A$AP Rocky, where he said he was going to do it, and then he backed out of it. And, we had to go through getting over that weirdness, and eventually we put him on the cover. Right. So it's, it's really, we're business people too.
Last question, with me, I'm just curious about certain artists. Post Malone.
Post Malone, we were told by his camp that he wasn't paying attention to hip hop so much. He was going in more of a rock, pop, country direction.
Opening for Justin Bieber direction.
We never even discussed play music. We never even met on it. Once we heard that he was going in a whole different music direction and wasn't really acknowledging hip hop. Yeah. And really, once they were telling us, going in that country direction, we were like, well, that's the message that you don't really want to be in the hip hop world. Gotcha. So we're just going to let it go, rather than chase you down and beat you in the head over it.
He was doing that kind of before anyway, though. Like, he wasn't always doing hip-hop, and then he did White Iverson, got a buzz.
It's very easy when you're an artist these days to dabble in hip-hop and then pull back. Dabble in, I'm in hip-hop, and then I'm not in hip-hop. I'm in hip-hop, so with artists like him, with different type of artists have the opportunity to kind of figure out or pick these days what genre they want to represent at the moment or are going to represent. More power to him. He just didn't want to run down the hip-hop lane.
All right, and the XXL Freshman show is when?
The New York show is June 28th at PlayStation Theater, so you can get some tickets now. And then in LA, July 25th. And then there'll be a few other shows that we're putting the dates together of now. Yeah.
Y'all should be applauded, too, for getting all these young kids together, because a lot of these young kids will be like, man, I don't want to do that. I don't have to do that.
You don't understand how hard it is. Yeah. I mean, we cry me a river, I'm sure, Vanessa, but you don't understand how hard it is. It's a lot more difficult every year. And the funniest part to me is every year the styling section gets larger and larger. The dressing rooms, the clothing, everything else gets smaller. Even the eating area is going to get smaller, but the clothing is such an essential part of everything. And that's up for conversation, too, of how great that is.
Because even these labels will sign these artists that have these buzzes online and then try to get them to do radio promo, and they be like, for what? Radio not playing my records?
They don't even know what that means.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a huge factor, is that they're so new. I mean, designers, what did he say? He never 19. Been to Atlanta?
Never been to Atlanta,
it's
yeah.
Cool,
they got bras there.
It's
via Facebook, he said.
Well, because it's down in the DM, that's it.
New era we live in, y'all.
That's right. Well, we appreciate you joining us and coming through every time.
We appreciate the support. Thank you for that. You always look out and show the love. And
we
and
love when you come up here every year to talk about the freshman cover.
Even though, Angela, you didn't tell us this time.
She didn't tell us.
No, she didn't tell us.
I did. We have a lot of debates, before the cover
but
comes out, and who
invited.
we think should make the cover. So it's always good to see who made it. And congratulations to everybody who did. I put up the post. I said congratulations to everybody who made the XXL cover. There's a lot of people, trash this, blah, this person's trash. I only like this person. Maybe you never heard other people's music. Maybe it's time for you to go and take a listen to it. Maybe some people just are not for you.
Yeah, I see it very balanced this year, though. Like I always say, the rule of 10. 3 people going to like it, 3 people not going to like it, 4 people not even going to give a And it seems very fair and balanced to me from what I'm seeing.
Oh, there you have it. We have Vanessa
Freshman
and Miranda.
Cover, never heard anybody.
Never heard anybody.
Never heard a
Never
soul.
heard anybody.
XXL. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Every weekday morning. Tune in